Oota. Oota. I think my this was on it. Is it coming through now? Tammo hears it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I can put it in the. What about now? double chin version of. Exactly. Okay. I'm sorry.
Welcome, woo! Young and old, bold and brave. It's our first time to present our magnificent OOPUS masterclass, where old and future sciences are
brought together.
And
we had our own jingle, as you were able to hear.
Yes. So we're gonna try to stick in the 1 hour, and we have also the plan of action. So basically, so those are the topics 1 to 9. There is summary, there is Q&A. If you have questions or thoughts, raise your hand or pick up your phone, dial in the notes. If something is in your brain and tingly, like what? And you're welcome to interrupt also. Mm-hmm. So
if you don't know who we are and what we do, then let's start from
the
beginning.
Yes, the introduction, who we are and what we do. Yeah, and what OOPUS stands for. Yeah. Mari.
Hi, my name is Mari Mentalo. And I have a background in Estonian traditional music. I studied the bagpipes and also traditional singing and some related instruments of bagpipes like whistles and mouth harp and whatnot. And then, well, before actually going to study Estonian traditional music, I was sometimes playing together with DJs. Like flutes or mouth harp together with their, mixing. And also I was organizing some underground parties when it comes to like electronic dance music scene. Mm-hmm. And
we both share one cool Estonian musician actually, but we didn't meet at his band. But anyways, mm-hmm. My background is mostly sports. I was a windsurfer, but before the windsurfing I was playing classical guitar. After the windsurfing, I really felt during the path that the strong rhythm of the heart and the music is really touching me, and I fell in love in music. So I tried to find ways how to approach it. I was playing electric guitar and percussion for electronic music. Mm-hmm. And then I found out Viljandi Culture Academy, which is the home of Estonian traditional music. It's the hub, and there's also a cool folk festival. And when I went to study there, then I met Mari. And
what did you study there?
I studied sound engineering, so my profession is how to record, how to mix, how to master. This is my dream job, to mix and master. But also I went there to study how to do it because I wanted to capture a good sound and also to provide a live good sound. So those were my goals. And when we met with Mari, we were both like if you play together with a DJ, they are usually rushy when it comes to changing songs. But as a live musician, you felt like, whoa, this is the part where the songs are changing. There's a, you know, no melody, there's only rhythm, but they feel like, oh, they have to provide. But we felt like, now it's time we can do a little, just say one word, and they're gonna skip to another tune. And we both felt the same, like it should be done with live music intention, but also involving electronics. So we started to practice.
Jam around.
Yeah, and on one jam session, after 4 hours in an empty hall.
With big loudspeakers.
Yeah, we said like, okay, the practice is done, the rehearsing is done, but Mari, before I was able to, you know,
unplug everything.
She was making a joke.
Yeah, I said that in the mic, you know, because we had big loudspeakers, that now, dear audience, there wasn't anyone there besides us. Now, dear audience, Johannes is going to perform his opus number 1.
Yeah, and I was like, after 4 hours, like I have tried everything, it's going to ruin my day. It was the first approach, you know, inside. And the second approach was like, hey, whatever I do now, it's gold. And with my intention, even though I don't know what I'm going to play next after each note. And I was actually getting inspired by it. And then after a while, we tried to figure out, like, okay, we are a duo now, let's put the name of the band. There were many ideas, but in the end, we chose
Opus,
which stands for, in Latin,
work or a piece of art, as you know.
Yeah, but not just any work or a piece of art. It's basically up to date your work and piece of art. So basically, every time you create something, it's your best
opus.
Work.
Your latest opus.
Yeah, but at the same time, the philosophy is not about making a better and even more better work. It's up to yourself, like you're creating, and this really resonated with us.
Yeah. But what I also want to add is, like, coming from the like electronic music scene and then going into traditional music scene, I noticed during my studies, since I had to transcribe and analyze a lot, that there are so many similarities between electronic dance music and, well, at least Estonian traditional music. And we want to talk about those as well.
Yes. So the big why, electronic music or root traditional music, what are the similarities or differences? In Estonia, the main instrument has been vocal. And
well, because you have it with you all the time.
And there is less than 1% of drums in our region. It's more of sharp, your vocals, fiddles later on. And this is pretty much it. And then you have lots of melodies.
Well, bagpipes as well.
Bagpipes too, yeah. And then you have repetitions, melody lines, and then we have up to date now, 2024, where we see synthesizers and electronic music as a new thing, which is older than 100 years.
Actually.
Yeah. And what old Estonian traditional music and basically techno or acid both have in common, they're both basically like a closet music in terms of it's never meant to be, let's go and do a festival and put it on the stage and let's perform and present our music for the audiences.
It's like creating the vibe together.
Yeah.
DJs also, as you probably know, you watch from the audience, from the people, you know, where to move, where the energy takes you. Also, same applies for the traditional musicians. They share the dance floor with the people, and they're not on the stage.
So you're a good chef, you cook. You're a good fiddle player, you play fiddle. You both are good singers, you sang. You are a good dancer, and others are good dancers having a good time. We share the same playground. When we call rave, the description of rave is experiencing the sound. Experiencing the sound.
Being inside the sound.
Inside the sound, and it's not about the loudness, it's about the feel. Of course, the bigger the system, the more
oomph
atoms we can move, and this is generating, ecstasy. But the ecstasy comes from the repetition. And when in 1980s, those instruments, I have basically a Roland TB-03 clone, which had to be who's the bass player. The main goal was, if you are not around, I have a bass player here. The same goes to drums.
Yeah, they were like originally built for practice purposes.
Yeah, classical music, your best companion when you're not having your friend around. But it turned out it was absolutely the nightmare of programming.
Programming, yeah.
And once you start to practice, it's like 8 hours later, it's like, and you're still programming.
and that's why those instruments ended up in second-hand shops.
Yeah, and hippies like us who don't have money, they find ways how to approach music. You find those equipment that are just a pile of junk. They grabbed those, made some great tracks. It developed into house, techno, acid, and all the subgenres. Of course, from the root music of Africa, West culture, drums, rhythms, and traditional music. Basically, all those are combined there.
But when we talk about electronic dance music and Estonian traditional music, then at least when it comes to instrumental music, then the main focus is dancing. To keep people on the dance floor as long as possible.
Weddings, just birthdays, after a long...
Village parties, whatnot.
After a long, you went and had all the grain done at
So
the party.
it means that the rhythm has to be steady. Usually, well, Estonian traditional music isn't typically like the...
On three. It's only on one or
No.
One, two, one.
I mean that it's not like a 5/4 or 7/4 or that kind of stuff. It's like mostly 4/4.
Pure techno.
Yeah, like, keeping the steady dance beat. And then when it comes to the melody lines, they're usually like really...
Very compressed.
Yeah, like maybe...
The dynamics are super short, super
small.
Like
the scale isn't that high. You maybe use like 3 notes, 5 notes out of the, whatever registers you have. So it means that, the melodies aren't that crazy, but what the instrumentalists do is they vary small details like like different rhythms or maybe, ornaments and whatnot. And this is what keeps the people on the dance floor. And basically same applies for the club music.
Yeah. So just to clear the minds for a second, we're gonna dial into the
archives.
The best. The Google, it's past. Internet Explorer, it's past. But we have folk.ee where the information is. It's our Google.
The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
So what we will showcase now is one tune, and we have a cool story about it. This is called Sikusarve lugu.
A buckhorn's tune.
Yeah. So if you can read the basic score, it's super easy, but there is so much going on. And one should be aware that basically what has happened is me, a sound engineer 100 years back, went around in Estonia, figured out, wow, this is cool tune. Fortunately, I'm a sound engineer, but in 1903, 06.
And you had your wax rolls with you.
Yeah. And you started capturing, and you said like, dude, you have so short time to provide, man. You have to do it like in less than 2 minutes. So please play all the details that are in the tune. So basically, all the variations are played. Okay. And I never played like this. Usually I play the first part an hour and the second part another hour. It's the repetition, it's the party.
Yeah.
So this is the only clue we have to remember, that it's due to the
limitations of recording devices back at the time.
Yeah, and that's why it's stretched.
But play the tune.
Okay, let's hear the beat. No, sorry, there's no beat.
Yeah, remember, no beat.
Just a second, I'm gonna see where does it go. it
Yeah,
would
'cause
go over here.
also, like talking about the percussive instruments, as you probably know, the percussive instruments came to Europe when the Arabs conquered Spain, which was like in 700, 800 after Christ. So this is the time when the percussion instruments came to Europe, and people started to use them when it came to playing music and performing music. And also Arabs brought the string instruments to Europe. This wasn't widespread in Europe before that.
I am muted, Han? Am I muted or not? Okay, so let's hear the tune. On the fiddle. One more time, because it was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dial in and let's watch the score.
That's a crazy tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So how we approached this song, it was by accident. We love a band called Acid Arab. Do you know Acid Arab? They have a tune called Electric Yargol.
Yep.
I'm not gonna play it here at the moment, but
later.
I was driving and I was sharing the tune with Mari. Mari was like, "This is awesome." Yep, I know, they are great.
And then while we were listening the track, I was like, wait, this is almost exactly like this Estonian traditional tune that you heard just now. And then we were like,
Okay, let's recreate the same.
Let's try to make our version of Acid Arab's tune.
But with our tune.
With the Estonian traditional tune.
So
what we came up with.
Yeah. Okay, let's listen the beginning. For example, for the Electric Yargo Acid Arab. Then we're gonna listen our version, and then we're gonna listen the original, and just figure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just move quite fast as we have limited time, so we can't listen to the whole track anyway. So you now get the melody, the bass line. Now we jump into OOPUS Sikusarve lugu. Let's listen it. It's ours.
Fade siit välja. And now the original.
And now the live version. I just took the score. I haven't. I just programmed it upstairs. Now I have skills to program. I just made A part and small B part, and it sounds like this. but it's straight. Tagapool, sa pead ettepoole minema.
So it's like yeah.
So this is Estonian traditional root music on a fiddle.
Really a big inspiration for us in creating what we do.
Yeah, and I also did accents.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have to continue with the masterclass.
But if you have any questions in between, then feel free to comment or ask. What I wanted to say is that actually being an Estonian and having like this vast history that has been collected is such a, awesome thing because, while studying, I got to know that in Estonian National Archives, there are more than 1.5 million different Bruno songs collected there. Plus instrumental tunes.
Yeah, and the topic that Mari is diving into is actually...
and a lot of them are also digitalized, and you can
like get them... This is actually the topic that we will end up, and we were going to open this a little bit more up, and would love to answer like the big why, like what's the catch on you? And the short answer is go figure your own root music from your country where you're from, and find the pieces. Basically, let's put the puzzle back together and find out who we are living here. The second example is with the vocals, because instrumental is one thing, but the vocal thing is another. So how to approach this one? So we have Hanemäng, a goose game, which is a game.
A game song.
Yeah. And this sounds like this.
So there's like some of the songs that are online. You can also go and check them out, the translation in English.
Yeah, and how we approach it, it's in 2022, we have, so maybe to talk about a little of our band, when we started it was...
The two of us.
The two of us, but we saw that, of course, lights are the essential part, because otherwise you don't know who's the light engineer, and you might end up in a bright light that doesn't really vibe.
Yeah.
And so
And plus we didn't have a lot of money to hire like a separate light guy, so we decided to include him in the band as one of the main members.
Yeah. and when previously talking about like it should be, like the whole picture comes together when there is a music and when there is a dancer to interact. So luckily we were approached by our good friend Raho, who is a dancer. So we've been developing our music with a dance choreography, with visuals, with live video and lights since 2020. And 2022 we performed at Viljandi Folk Festival, and small clip is from there.
This is like the version of this goose game that you just heard there.
And Raho does live visuals, and
he
like imitates the
wings of
goose.
Of the goose.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so it's the basic Estonian root music with a song game.
Yeah. And since the melody is so simple, so repetitive, people can sing along, and it really, if you play it long or perform it long, then it really, takes you on a trip. Yeah.
Yeah, and Hanemäng development. Yeah, this is the development and the result. So yeah, now we end up in the most, I would say, the most part of our masterclass where we figured out that we don't have to invent our story if we have the story that is so rich of those elements. So basically what I want to say is Elon Musk says, or thinks that most likely the percentage is like above 75 or even higher, that we live in the matrix. But Finno-Ugric people that lived on these areas, Estonia, Finland, Karelia, they believed that the world was created from an egg. And sorry.
Okay.
So I was always talking this story, it's created from an egg, and Mari always interrupted, and I was like, I want to talk my story. But she added, but the egg was brought. Somebody had to bring the egg. So it's called a stork.
So we can say that the matrix was created.
But when Elon Musk says it's in the matrix, and if we figure out how the data packages are, moved. So basically, it's just a file package that's brought here
in the shape of an egg,
downloaded over here, and
the world was created
and extracted. So it might be that our ancestors are basically
maybe they were onto something.
They spoke with their words about the data.
And also, like, the story goes that like some of the birds are like the spirit birds that can travel.
Storks bring babies.
Yeah,
Everybody
the story.
knows. But do you know from where? Has anybody told you? Well, the storks are the ships that can travel between this extracted realm, between the realm that the package came from.
In Estonian, the word for stork is toone kurg, and kurg is a stork, and toone means the netherworld, toonela. So the stork comes from the netherworld, bringing the spirits to this realm, and then voila.
Yeah, and this is how the packages are, downloaded or uploaded.
Yeah, and
if you die, basically your might be, uploaded back to the server
through the Milky Way.
Yeah. And in 2017, Mari was fourth time then burner. We went. She invited also me to explore and
to experience the Burning Man festival.
And we took our gear with us. It was this is another topic, another story. But basically, what happened was our live was delayed 2 hours because of whatever. But I was with the synths. Mari had the mic, and I was like, okay, finally we can now start.
2 hours later. Yeah. So how did you actually bring audience in when you've been delayed 2 hours?
Yeah, so I was saying, I don't have the mic, you have to deliver. I was starting to play with, and Mari was, and you are the crowd, 200 people or whatever is the number.
Yeah.
So.
And then I was, well.
Go ahead, let's do it.
Let's do it. So.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah. It's like.
So get ready. We are gonna.
Are you ready, guys?
Yeah. Okay, so now we have to suit up because we're gonna go to outer space.
Who wants to go to the outer space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So put on your boots.
Yeah.
Do you have the space boots?
Yeah, because we're gonna go off flying there.
Put them on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we suit it up.
Yeah, you have to suit up your helmet.
helmet.
Well, if you're an alien, of course don't have to do that because,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and that's how we basically, I brought people together.
Actually,
she
was just making fun, and I was like, like how to approach, and everybody were like,
let's go.
Let's go. You say, and they provide.
And then we were like, traveling through the black hole, and people went crazy, and then,
Yeah, and then we figured, come come on, we are talking our, you know, Finno
our traditions actually,
yeah,
you know,
like
like
how the world was created, where we went.
how the spirits travel to like in the Finno-Ugric tradition, our ancestral spirits live in the like beyond Milky Way, and there are like a lot of songs about that, and you know, like traveling beyond the stars, whatnot. So actually, it's embedded in our traditional culture.
So,
and
so the root code that's programming us is very down to earth and having this steady rhythm and steady pace. And what we really feel with our music is that you have, the biggest thing, and actually here also in jamming, the biggest obstacle is letting go. And usually when you encounter the obstacle, it's usually when somebody interacts. It's like the line before entering into the new realm. It's like if you can really fight against and let go, don't touch it, don't say anything, and then the realm begins. Because we have recorded so much material jamming and having this feeling like it doesn't work.
Like we have to provide all the time.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like you have to develop. No, it's like every time we figure like listening or recordings, it's like, oh, there is such a good theme. Just stick to it.
Yeah.
Hold on to it. It's grooving like, you know, the best hit ever. Why you had to cancel it? Why did you
have to change it?
Yeah, it's just keep the same rhythm over and over, and even, you know, go away from your gear and just listen, go and dance. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe make like small variations like they did in the, you know, traditional music and the recordings of the traditional music.
So in our examples, hopefully the similarities between old root music and electronic dance music are the same. And we are not trying to adapt one to another. We are trying to combine those two trees to, you know, grow stronger together. Yeah. And this is why it's so fascinating that Mari was talking about archives, and that we just have this exceptional history where foreigners found out this rich culture that they basically fell in love with. And they happened to be guys who just wrote everything down, or just who recorded all the things down. And before the Second World War, or even the first, the materials were sent out of country. Yeah,
like to Finland archives or Sweden archives or to Canada.
Yeah, so they were kept. So our lines of traditional bloodlines have been cut many times with the wars, but our data has been preserved.
A lot of it. Well, actually, we don't know how much.
Yeah. So there's more data about instrumental and vocal tunes than there are people in Estonia, and the archive has only maybe 5 people.
Yeah.
Who's trying to, you know,
who are struggling
to make the physical into digital.
Yeah, and who are struggling for funding.
Yeah. Yeah. And so this is the heritage we have.
And we have to say that we're actually not doing, in a way, like anything new. We're not inventing a bicycle. Yep. Like this kind of like combination of different genres has been here for a long time.
It just takes form. And when you go to Sweden, for example, you can go and learn the instrument that the bloodline has never cut. It's been for decades that the same instrument as its grandfather and grandfather, they all share the same experiences, and they have the lines. And they have another problem. They have, you know, developed so long time that they are like really not. I'm not trying to say like they're like this, but yeah, if they try to innovate, it's really hard for them, for the innovation. For us, the problem is that we call it zombie folk, that when you try to
resuscitate the corpse.
Zombie, yeah, it never happens. And that's, we have Puulup that call themselves
the
as zombie folk.
Guys.
Yeah, trying to resurrect a zombie it never happens, you know. It's like, dude, just move on and, you know, do something new with it. And I think we are not doing anything new. We are just using the old, bringing to today's culture that we feel is cool. And when we started, we really missed
those kind of examples. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, the goal is very simple. When you go to the club, it's banger. It's so good beat.
But
so good
like all
bass
the
line.
music is in English.
Yeah, and then you figure out, it's Finnish. Oh, it's Swedish. It's Danish. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it would be
Estonian.
so cool
and
if
it's
we would
music.
have.
Oh, it's pure traditional stuff. Come on.
And it's so cool. Like like some of my teachers from the uni, like they listen to our creations, say, "Oh, but that's like authentic traditional music, like how I play it or how I sing it." And then some of our friends who are like DJs or producers, they're like, "But that's club music. Where's the traditional music in there? I don't hear it." It's like so cool, like where your ears have attuned listening, like you hear exactly what you need to hear in a ways.
Yeah, and as we made our first album, which is called Sorcery, it's called because of that sorcery, that if you don't know, you just hear, everyone can do it. And if you send the material to Folk Police, they say, according to the book. Yeah, but we really feel the electronic part, we don't know anything about it, but it's super interesting. Yeah. And the doors have opened for open-mindedness. So it's super cool that the generations are now accepting this.
And we want to play you an example of probably one of the first like traditional and electronic.
This is in the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, we have the next chapter, which is DIY.
Sorry.
So DIY is do it yourself.
So we were missing this kind of music from the club scene. We decided to do it. Yeah. And then in the beginning, when we started our band, people didn't know how to react.
Yeah, they were...
Like, because we were also performing in the middle of the dance floor.
And they were like
basically
this.
like boiler room style of performances. And they were like, they didn't know whether it's okay to come close or, and there was so much to, see and hear that it was...
And another big problem for musicians, I hope that you can feel it, nobody invites you on stage, to perform, to play some cool stuff that you really have practiced for many years. So we really felt that, not the world was against us, but...
Well, but some people told us as well that,
we're too electronic for folk, too folk for electronic, too much gear to hassle on the DJ scene because they only have, USBs.
Yeah.
And then you need an engineer who knows stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, it's easy because we only send out left and right.
But still.
Yeah. And then we went to Tallinn Week.
We applied many years. It's a showcase festival that happens in Tallinn every year. And performers come there from all over the world, and like a lot of different genres are presented there. So we applied for many years, but it didn't happen for us. So instead of waiting another year to maybe be accepted to perform there, we contacted the main organizer and said that we want to create our own stage.
They didn't reply. No reply.
In the beginning.
But we had a mentor from Trad Attack, Sandra Vabarna.
Yeah.
She was mentoring us. It was her free will on the Facebook, like I want to mentor one solo and one band, and she chose us. And she was sending also an email.
And she was like, personally connected with the main organizer of the festival, and she was like,
you should listen to them, or you should see into them what they're up to. Yeah. We did the PDF
presentation and whatnot,
everything. So we were invited over. So hello guys. So why are you here? Haven't you read our
email or the presentation and whatnot?
We even don't know why you are here. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
And now we have now comes the 5th edition of Electronica Stage, where abroad and Estonian acts, DJ, solo, a band, live electronics, whatever.
not only like dance music, but also like ambient or whatever kind of genres you can think and combine with traditional music.
This is the stage to welcome those, and it's been so cool. There are so many new rising stars on that genre that have been there for a long time, but it's a cross genre which has its own stage now. And if you have time, or just go and Google who are on the list from this year or from the previous years, because there are so many gems that there are so many.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is why DIY, you have to think as a musician of like, but maybe I can approach it the other way around. Example number 2, one of my colleagues from Poland, I can't get in touch with Jazz Car. I'm sending emails, no response. And then she...
jazz festival in Estonia.
And then she replied, I just wrote the line on Instagram and they replied in a second. Yeah, and I was like, cool, awesome, use that channel. And she got the answer, whatever, she was a manager for the band. So just find ways, like somebody texts you, it's like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. Email, it's like 1,000.
Yeah, and they say that like we're all maximum, like the steps or people between us, like all the connections in the world, all the people in the world are connected through like maximum 5 people. So there aren't that many steps in between people, if you would want to talk to Elon Musk, for instance.
But yeah, so this is the DIY, and this is how we create our own future, which we nowadays sit here or stand here. And if we want to have a festival, which we still envision and dream of, it's never been done before from us, but we prognose next year, most likely. And then it's present. At the time, it's future. We don't have funds, we don't have the plan, we don't have the place. We've been searching for 3 years, the place. But it will eventually come. So this is the summary. And I also hope that maybe you have now some questions that we can answer.
Well, I can talk about the instruments that we have or the gear that we use. Well, as you saw, I have the bagpipes and then vocals, mouth harp, but I also use loopers because in the song or the video that you saw, I loop the first line and then, sing together with it, because then it's easier for me to use effects and whatnot to kind of, to do variations on it.
And luckily we are here for the rest of the day and night, and tomorrow I had to leave, but Mari has her looper with her, so maybe during the jam today we can use also this and you can dive into.
Okay, Hans, have a...
regarding the looper, do you have it synced to your devices?
Yes.
That's the loop point?
Yeah.
So
that's a good question.
The whole system, basically what I do is I have a dedicated MIDI clock that only provides a master tempo. It's also synced to Mari's loopers. And I also send it out to our video guy who has input as a...
And lights.
Video light engineer. Yeah. So he has also the master clock. Plus, I also send out the audio. So he also can choose from the audio spectrum from the lows, mids, or highs, how, for example, LED white goes with the highs, LED red goes with the mids, green goes with the lows. He can choose and also be in sync with the time. So this is how we are connected.
Yeah. So he's the master, and all the others are slaves for him. And what kind of gear you use?
Yeah, I have many instruments. I started with Korg Volca series. I have many Korg Volca.
Like really small synthesizers.
Yeah. And then I
that are like quite cheap.
Yeah. And then I have those Roland Boutique. They are clones from the original ones. The originals are very huge and cool to play with. I haven't, because you can really approach. You don't have to have tiny hands, but this is like, it's very portable, cool gear to bring with you. So yeah, this is the gear, but yeah, maybe there is more a question or a hint.
And then our VJ, he uses different programs to do the visuals, and like we developed this kind of approach during COVID when we did a lot of live streams, like to show on YouTube or on our channel how our, to also show how our dancer moves and also incorporate visuals. So in that sense, we in the beginning used like those old school webcams to...
But now iPhones.
Yeah, but now iPhones,
because
and then
it has a lidar, so it can feel the depth of field, so it doesn't have to have light for focusing. So this is a great innovation.
So in that visual, he uses his hands that are captured by the iPhone, and then our VJ uses the video input to put effects on it, and then play around with it.
Yeah, this is another.
But you can also
this is another example of the sauna man who takes Leil with 500 degrees in the sauna. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Mari. I think we have covered the time, and now for the end we have I called it in the masterclass drop the mic
moment.
Yeah. So basically what we have told, the innovation, the future in Estonia
already happened.
No, it's since 1985. So there is a very traditional kids game called kükitamistants. So it's like squatting.
But it's a traditional game song.
Yeah. So let's sing it how it is.
Kükita, kükita, mis siis muud kui kükita, 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 mis siis muud kui kükita.
So this is another tune that will have like few thousand people of
because every Estonian knows this song, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, it's original. I wrote it. The
guy who made
it. His name is Olev Muska. He's a foreigner Estonian, but he
lives in Australia.
Yeah, he was born in Estonia, but parents during the Second World War moved to Australia. So yeah, so I was writing to him just to double confirm because I have the vinyl. So the question was it really done in 1985? So yeah. Thank you for asking. The first version that he created was in 1985 on an LP called Old Estonian Waltzes. He was composing it with his brother's Arno Apple II computer, which was connected through Roland CMU 800 CompuMusic interface, and which was also connected with two Korg MS-10 synths via CV, which is basically cables, and
how it sounds.
Listen, this 1985.
$1985, so yeah.
So basically what we are trying to say is it's innovation.
30 years ago.
Yeah, it's innovation from the 85.
40.
And we are
40 years ago.
And we are not trying to accomplish that, this is the innovation. We are just doing the same things on another timeline. Just
with different instruments, but still the idea in a way is the same.
Like how to capture the root music and how to find it super awesome. And it has developed so much also in Estonian, in the country in general. The folk music is one of the most popular genres according to the other genres that are
rap
around.
and folk.
Yeah. So that's the healthy part, and it was awesome to share this short presentation with examples.
Thanks.
Mari.
Oh, and follow us on social media, please.
Find us on our YouTube or Instagram.
Yeah.
And we can also respond to you and follow you and share the word.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and follow Olev Muska He's also on YouTube and on SoundCloud, many examples. But his music is hardcore. It's like not easy listening. This is one of the easiest parts to listen. But he has really
deep dived into it. Yeah.
On the third floor, we will have a breath journey now.